Welcome back, guys, and today we are here with Broadway grosses, so let's get into it. So this week was a pretty rough week for theaters overall, and a lot of these shows had 7 performances, and you have to take into account the blizzard, Christmas, and they typically have their best surges this upcoming week. So I think a lot of these shows is just a one and done thing. But Aint Juliet went from 91% to 96%, but because it had 7 performances instead of 8, it did not make $1 million like it made last week, but made 927,000 overall gross. And the average ticket did go down considerably, but again, 7 performances, when you have 1 less performance, you don't do as well. 1776 continues to be a flop, going from 70% to 52%. You can't get worse than that, Diane. A Beautiful Noise saw an incredible drop from 90% to 66%, going from $1 million to 788. This is a weird trend because we saw this happen before a month earlier with Beautiful Noise, and I think this is more of a glitch, and I think it will do well overall, but it is definitely an interesting thing that I wasn't expecting, but from what I've heard on the message boards, this week is selling a lot better. So, and also has, I think, 9 performances instead of 8. A Strange Loop only had 5 performances because they had canceled 3 of them because of illnesses, so it only made 283,000, and went from 74% last week to 68% this week, so you can't really count that up. Aint No More went from 92% to 98%, having its best week ever, and I think it ended, so good for them on that. Almost Famous went from 67% to 69%, so it did go up, but the overall gross went down because the average ticket went down. Beetlejuice is ending super strong with $1 million this week versus $1 million last week, even though it had 7 performances this week instead of last week. It went from 91% last week to 96% this week. And based on how it's selling right now, with tickets going as high as 500, Beetlejuice is going to end with, I think, maybe a 2 million in front of it. So I'm very happy that it's going to end victorious. And it's selling very well on tour. Funny Girl went from 96% last week to 99% this week. But again, 7 performances, it went from 2 million to 1 million. Hadestown went from 99% to 100%, but the overall gross was down from 847,000 to 760,000. And again, I still think the show will close this year, or in the upcoming year. Hamilton made 2 million again. Into the Woods went from 75% last week to 71% this week, going from 1 million to 876. Kimberly Akimbo went from 78% last week to 74% this week. So it went up slightly from 502,000 to 510,000. But again, I'm very nervous for the next 2 months and if the show can survive the onslaught. Moulin Rouge went from 97% last week to 96% this week. 7 performances, so it went down a little bit, but still making $1 million. Six went from 96% of last week to 96% this week. So it only had a little bit of a drop. Some Like It Hot, or like I should call it, Some Like It Flop, with 7 performances went from 73% to 52%. $802 to $543,000. 5,000 out of 10,000 seats. If you think the show's going to succeed, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't like to see shows fail. I don't wish them bad times. But this show is going to close within the next month. I can guarantee it. And if I were a producer, I would be like, we're going to get nominated, but we're not going to win a lot. So it's not worth it. So I really do believe that Almost Famous, that Some Like It Hot will close next month. Very confident on that. However, it might make it to February and March and April. There is a chance that could happen. But the way the numbers are working right now, this show is just going to tank. And it's very expensive to put on every night and every week. The Book of Mormon went from 98% last week to 94% this week. A little bit of a drop. Lion King, 2 million. The Music Man, 2 million versus last week's 3 million, going from 99% to 96%. The Phantom made 1 million versus last week's 2 million, and went from 100% to 100%. And Wicked went from 2 million to 2 million, actually increased from 99% to 98%. So those are the grosses. Overall, pretty rough week for a lot of shows. But again, a lot of shows this week are doing 8 performances, 9 performances. So you will see most shows doing amazing next week. Very nervous for January. I think a lot of shows are going to close. But I think this is more of a temporary glitch for shows like Aint Juliet or Some Like It Hot. Or Aint Juliet and the Neil Diamond Show and Strange Loop obviously had 5 performances, but for shows like Some Like It Hot and Kimberly Akimbo, jury's still out on that. So anyways, that is the video. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.